What's up guys, today we're going to compare the different outdoor smart plugs for HomeKit and try to determine which might be the best for you. Let's go! Sponsored by Eve. Yo, what's up guys? Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're new here, my name is Shane and this channel is all about building an easy smart home using Apple's HomeKit with new videos published every Sunday right here. And speaking of easy, using an outdoor smart plug for something like your backyard lighting can be a really easy way to impress the neighbors and make your life a little bit easier. Now, not all of these smart plugs are created equal. So today I really just wanted to gather all the ones that currently support HomeKit, and we'll compare things like the price, maximum load, IP ratings, and other features like that. And I'll provide my recommendations based on these factors and my own personal experience with each of these. I'll put affiliate links to everything we talk about down below in the description if you want to pick up one of these for yourself. Now, full disclosure, some of these smart plugs were sent to me free of charge, and some of them I did also pay for with my own money, so just want to let you know that. Either way, that won't influence this video at all. I'm gonna give it to you straight up as always. So we do have here pretty much all the outdoor smart plugs that currently support HomeKit. We've got the Wemo, the Lutron Caseta, the iDevices, and two smart plugs from Maris, or Maris, I think. I still get that wrong. Now, I did actually do a full review on the Lutron Caseta plug not too long ago and showed how I set that up with the Pico remote and everything like that, and I'll put a link to that video in the description if you want to check that out after this video. And it is worth noting that all of these plugs that we're talking about today do actually support all of the major voice assistants. So if that's something that's important to you, you're covered there. So at the time of recording this video, the Wemo costs $34.99. The Lutron Caseta costs $79.95, definitely being the most expensive. The Maris 2 plug outlet is $25.99 and the Maris 3 plug outlet is $34.99. The iDevices plug is actually unavailable at this time. I did reach out to the iDevices support and they said that it will be available by the end of summer and the price will be $49.95. So let's talk about design and build quality first. They all have a similar design except for the Lutron Caseta outdoor plug. The Caseta plug is the only one with only one outlet, and it has this like flexible cord on either side. This is the only one that doesn't have a 90-degree angle plug also. The others all feature two outlets, or in the case of the Maris plug, 3 outlets. The Maris plugs definitely feel like the cheapest, for lack of better words, and the Lutron definitely being the most solid. This thing is built like a tank. And the others kind of sit somewhere in between. Now, both of these Maris plugs are the only ones that will give you individual control in HomeKit for each outlet. So the others can only control the outlets together as one device in HomeKit. Of course, the Lutron plug only has one outlet anyways, but the Wemo and the iDevices plug, both of those only give you one controller in HomeKit, and both of those outlets are controlled together. The Wemo and both Maris plugs hold an IP rating of IP44, meaning it's protected against solid objects that are bigger than 1 millimeter and water splashing from all directions, while the Lutron Caseta plug holds an IP65 rating, which means it's fully dust tight and protected against solid objects. Plus, it's protected against water jets sprayed from any angle. The iDevices plug does not hold an IP rating, but their website says it's been tested against harsh conditions like rain, sleet, and snow, so you can leave it outside without any worry. I can only find the working temperature range for the Lutron Caseta plug, which is listed at between -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So I only assume that all the plugs would probably be fine in most temperatures as an outdoor plug. Although if it gets like super cold in the winters where you live, you might have some trouble really with any of these. Seeing as how the Lutron plug, which is probably the most durable of all these, is still said to only work at a minimum of -4 degrees. Thank God it never gets that cold here, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, I think an important thing to consider that probably many people just kind of overlook when you're looking for a product like this is the maximum load that the plug can handle. So any of these should be fine, probably for your typical string lights, Christmas lights, things like that. But if you want to use one of these for like something more serious, like a sump pump or a pool pump, anything like that that might actually draw more power, you definitely want to consider this. Both the Meris plugs and the iDevices plug have a 10 amp maximum, while the Lutron Caseta plug and the Wemo plugs have a 15 amp max. In fact, I'll show you all the load types and ratings that the Lutron Caseta lists right here on the screen. Looks like that Lutron plug is starting to make up a little bit for that higher cost. And speaking of that higher cost, Lutron Caseta is the only one of these that does also require an additional bridge in order to use it with HomeKit or any of the voice assistants, potentially costing you even more money if you don't already have one. Now, with that said, it does use Lutron's Clear Connect technology to connect to that bridge, which is not only very fast and reliable, but also seems to have very good range. The only ones that actually seem to drop their connection in HomeKit or, fall off the Wi-Fi for me and get that dreaded no response error was the Meris plugs. I'd unplug it, plug it back in, and then they'd reconnect just fine. All the others seem to maintain their connection to Wi-Fi and in HomeKit with no problems. Next is the certifications that each of these have. I'm just going to go ahead and put those up on screen instead of trying to read out all of these different abbreviations and certifications. So take a look at these. If any of these are important to you, these are the certifications that are listed for each one of the plugs. So now let's talk about other features that they might have. A couple of these outdoor plugs actually have an away mode, which basically randomizes your lights or whatever you have plugged in. So this is good for kind of like making it look like you're home when maybe you're away on vacation or something like that. Both the Wemo and the Lutron Caseta plugs offer this feature in their own manufacturer's app. So it's called Away Mode in the Wemo app and Smart Away Mode or Smart Away in the Lutron app. And both of these brands also make smart light switches and plugs and things like that. So this can be particularly useful if you have, more of those devices or smart, wall switches and stuff, and you can kind of randomize your lights and things like that, when you're away on vacation to kind of make it look like you're at home. And the other feature to mention is power monitoring or, energy reporting. The only one of these that can do that and give you that, power monitoring is the iDevices plug. With this plug, you can get real-time energy consumption data for any electronic device that you plug into the switch. So this is pretty cool if you're really into, monitoring your power consumption. And speaking of energy reporting, let me take a minute to tell you about today's sponsor, Eve, who makes some great products built exclusively for HomeKit, including their Eve Energy Smart Plug that gives you power monitoring as well, but also supports Thread. Eve is one of the leading brands right now on Thread, which is that standard that not only makes your smart home more responsive and robust, but is also one of the pillars of the smart home of the future, Matter. I love Eve products because they guarantee 100% privacy, no bridges, no cloud, and no tracking. I've got many Eve products personally in my own HomeKit setup, including the weather station, indoor camera, smart plugs, and door sensors. I really love Eve's stance on privacy and just all the great things that they're doing around Thread and the future of the smart home. So check out the link in the description for more, and big thanks to Eve for sponsoring today's video and supporting this channel. So that's probably more than you ever needed to know about smart plugs or smart outdoor plugs, but now for my final picks, which one should you buy? Well, the best budget option for price alone is going to be the Meris plugs, of course, and the other reason to consider either one of these, like I mentioned before, is they're the only ones that'll give you the individually controllable outlets. Plus, they're the only ones with the option for up to 3 outlets. So, if those things are important, I'd look at these. But remember, it does only support a 10 amp maximum before you start plugging all kinds of stuff into that 3 outlet plug. They're, of course, the cheapest, and it does kind of show with dropped connections and a less than premium build quality. here, I think you kind of get what you pay for. If you just need some additional smart plugs for your holiday decorations and you'll only be using them for a few months out of the year, maybe something like that, then I consider them because they're just so affordable. But I wouldn't use them for anything too important. And for the flip side of that, my pick for durability and reliability definitely goes to the Lutron Caseta outdoor plug with an IP65 rating and the ability to handle a maximum load of up to 15 amps, small pumps and motors. This thing is just built like a tank and can handle really just about anything. If I needed to connect something really important and reliability just cannot be compromised, or if I had really extreme weather or something like that, then this would definitely be my first choice. And I love that I can also connect it to a Pico remote to get that physical control. With that said, if you've already bought into the Lutron Caseta ecosystem and already have the smart bridge, you really can't go wrong with this, and it's clear connect technology. But, it is very pricey. It only has one outlet, so this one is definitely not for everyone. If energy monitoring is important to you, well, then the iDevices outlet is the only one on this list that'll give you that. That's about the only reason I can really see buying the iDevices outdoor plug at this point. It's a solid enough product, but at that slightly higher price and lower load maximum, and not being able to control the outlets separately, kind of push me towards the other smart plugs at this point, again, unless you just really want that power monitoring. And finally, actually much to my surprise, my pick for the best all-around outdoor smart plug for HomeKit is going to go to Wemo. I think this one is the best bang for your buck right now. Really, its only downside that I can see is that you can't control the two outlets independently. If that's important, again, look at the Maris plugs since they're the only ones that can do that. But aside from that, I found this one to be a great option. It's been reliable in HomeKit for me. It's worked the whole time. The price is very reasonable. It can handle a higher maximum load than most of the others with that 15 amp maximum. And it even has that smart away mode that can randomize your lights when you're on vacation and stuff like that. Again, it has that IP44 rating, so not as good as the Lutron Caseta, but still pretty good, and will probably be able to handle most weather conditions. And again, at that lower price, not needing a hub, I think this is probably the best bang for your buck. Again, the one you choose is really just going to depend on what's most important to you and your needs. And hopefully this video was helpful in helping you decide which one would be best for your needs. If so, hit that like button below. That really does help out the channel. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for new HomeKit videos every Sunday morning right here. And if you want to support this channel even further, consider becoming a channel member for about $5 a month and get access to some cool members only perks. Thank you so much for watching and letting me be a part of your smart home journey. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.